Howdy everyone, welcome back to Twab BD, where I break down this week at Bungie as fast as humanly possible. Let's go! First up, Bungie is now giving out the Transgender Awareness Emblem. Bungie also announces that all profits made from the sale of the Bungie Pride Pin will go toward Trans Lifeline, in support for their efforts to provide peer support to trans people in crisis through respectful, anonymous, and confidential communication and resources. Moving on, Bungie makes some announcements for this week's Trials of Osiris. This week's Trials is going to be Capture Zones. Bungie took the feedback from the previous time this was in the lab to heart. So this week's Trials of Osiris Capture Zones is now going to be on Endless Vale, and instead of the losing team getting a significant location advantage, there are now going to be 3 neutral spawn zones for the capture point. And players can no longer get super energy either before or after capturing the zone. And Trials of Osiris is also going to go back to a card-based matchmaking all weekend, with Sunday being the flawless matchmaking pool turned on at 10 AM. In addition to that, it's also double reputation all weekend long. Moving on, Bungie makes some archetype changes. Starting up, shotguns. Bungie reduced slug shotgun PvE damage from 30% to 20%, and they gave pellet shotguns a 10% PvE damage bonus. Linear fusion rifles now has increased PvE damage by 10%. Caster swords reduced heavy attack ammo cost from 8 to 5. Bows increased damage versus rank and file enemies by 10%. Sidearms and fusion rifles increased sidearm and fusion rifle projectile speed from 999 to 9999, which makes them hit scan regardless of frame rate. Moving on, Bungie makes some tweaks to exotics. First up, Vex Mythoclast. Reduced aim assist stat by 25. Reduced the linear fusion rifle mode aim assist cones scalar from 1.1 to 1.05. Now requires 3 eliminations for a full overcharge instead of 2. Fighting Lion. Removed the multi-hit requirement. Now dealing any damage will grant the buff. Increase the reload buff plus 50 to plus 70. Arbalist now has intrinsic anti-barrier perk built into it. Sleeper Simulant. Increase magazine size from 3 to 4 and increase PvE damage by 6%. Soros Regime. Dual mode receiver mode now grants the following in addition to its current effects: plus 30 range and plus 3 zoom. Cryosthesia 77,000. Removed the variable trigger completely. Now fires on trigger press instead of release, making it feel much more responsive. Charge shot moved to special reload. Getting the final blow with the sidearm enables a cross to the special reload. Once the charge shot is fired, the weapon reverts back to its standard sidearm mode. This will not cost the entire magazine. Charge shot now causes an area of effect when freezing AI and slows players. Direct hit will still freeze. Leviathan's Breath. The Catalyst now grants Archer's Tempo perk in addition to its other effects. Whisper of the Worm. Reduced delay on activating whisper breathing from the Catalyst from 2.1 seconds to 1.2 seconds. White Nail magazine refills changed. Was 3 from inventory but now pulls 2 from inventory and 1 from thin air. Increased damage in PvE by 10%. Darcy. Reduced flinch, recoil, and accuracy degradation by 50% while Personal Assistant is active. Personal Assistant now has the 1 second delay before deactivating when off target. Increased damage in PvE by 20%. Malfeasance. Increased explosion damage by 50%. Dead Man's Tail. Increased reticle friction fall off distance. No effect on mouse and keyboard. Less recoil. Reduced effect on mouse and keyboard. Improved accuracy. Reduced effect on mouse and keyboard. Heir Apparent Catalyst. Reduced damage resistance against players from 75% to 25%. Lorenz Driver. Removed ability energy regeneration on picking up a telemetry. Traveler's Chosen now grants 10% ability energy per stack on activation. Reduced stack granted on Guardian defeat from 3 to 2. Moving on, Bungie also announces changes to perks. First up, Adrenaline Junkie. Eliminations with this weapon can add a single damage stack or extend existing ones. Grenades now immediately put you up to ×5. To make up for this, they lowered the duration to compensate for the weapon activation. Vorpal Weapon was 50% on all weapons. Now it's 10% on heavy weapons, 15% on special, and 20% on primaries. There is no change to damage versus players in their super. Whirlwind Blade. Increase the number of stacks needs to hit maximum damage from 5 to 10. Pulse Monitor. Change the threshold for activation from 90% health to 30% shield. Moving on. Bungie also talks about mod changes. Quick Access Sling. Functionality has been changed. Was at 100% handling and 0.9 ready, stow, and aim down sight time for 0.4 seconds after running out of ammo. Now it's 0.9 ready, slow time all the time. This also applies to swap mag perks, as they all were basically the same perk behind the scene. Bungie will add a full auto retrofit and weapon mod that enables full auto while the trigger is held. This will be usable on legendary hand cannons, sidearm scout rifles, and pulsed rifles. This will be unlocked by default for all players. And these changes go live on December 7th. And that's it for this week at Bungie. A lot of information was thrown out this week, and I thank all of you for sticking in there with me. If you like what I do and want to see more, please like and subscribe to the channel. It inspires me to make more. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, and have a good one. Bye.